Alright guys, we're back again. We got another video today. We're going to talk about home defense. So obviously the only thing that matters in home defense is your gun. So here's my home defense gun right here. It's High Point C9 with a compensator to keep my shots on target. Got the extendo clip on there just in case there's some extra bad guys. Man, I can't even keep. I'm just kidding. This is obviously not my home defense gun. This is a pile of shit I picked up for like $80. But it's not a pile of shit. The gun shoots fine. I put like 30 rounds through it and it works okay. I just thought it was cool that it had a compensator, and I use it to troll all my friends on the internet. So it's a lot of fun. This is not my home defense gun. I'm just kidding. Fuck that gun. So there's a couple things that we need to talk about when we talk about home defense. Now, we're not actually going to talk about guns first, but I'm going to put them up here to give you guys something to look at. There's way more to home defense than your typical YouTube star would have you believe. But the moral of the story is you gotta. The whole idea is to keep the bad guys out of the house. Not focus on shooting them once they get in. That being said, if they get in and need to be shot, they need to be shot. But the idea is to keep them out of the house. So there's lots of good information out there. The problem is when you search home defense, you get a lot of articles about guns, and you don't get a lot of like really good information from people who know what they're talking about. And I'm not a professional. My idea is to get you some ideas of how to go find the right information and where to start. So keep in mind here, the home defense plan is going to be way different for everybody. A lot of people have children. A lot of people have different situations. Whatever it is, live with your parents, live with your grandparents. Maybe you're not old enough to own a gun yet. Maybe you don't have the money to have an AR-15 or a shotgun, and all you can afford is the High Point, whatever. But the idea is to keep the bad guys out of the house. So talking about guns is awesome, and I really like guns, so we're going to get there, I promise. But I want to touch on a couple things first. So we'll start kind of from the outside of the house and move in. Exterior lighting is huge. The more light you can put outside, the more bad guys are going to be like, oh man, did somebody just turn that light on? Is there somebody watching me? Is there surveillance? I don't know, but I don't want to fuck with it. I'm going to go find somebody's house that's easier to break into. Or go find somebody that's easier to rape or kill, because these people clearly aren't. If they were, they wouldn't have lights on the outside of their house waiting for me to get there. So there's a lot of good motion detector lights out there. On the right at the front door of my house, where typically people have their little, porch light, I have like a 4,000 lumen light I bought at a Home Depot. It's a motion activated light. It's got a really far range. When somebody pulls into my driveway, this thing lights up the whole driveway. And I'll try to take some video of that maybe tonight and show you what it looks like, I guess. But it lights up the whole light. So as soon as somebody pulls in here, or somebody walks anywhere near the front of the house, if I'm in the living room, which is typically where I'm at, or by the kitchen, I can see the lights come on outside. I know something's moving outside. A lot of times it's just leaves or deer or possum, whatever. I can check. The other thing I see a lot of people, this reminds me of my mother. Every time something goes on outside, or she hears a noise or the lights come on, she's like, I better go take a look. I better go see what it is. Wrong. Don't do that. Don't go open your door. Hey, is anybody out here? That's not the best way to keep people out of your house. Look through the windows. Have a peephole in your door, have a window in your door, or whatever, to look. Don't open the door and ask if there are bad people out here. That's just not a smart plan to do. So as many motion lights as possible, that's great. There are a lot of good camera systems out on the market too. If you want to put security up outside, by all means, go for it. I have some pretty cool shit in my house, but I don't live in a mansion. My house is pretty inconspicuous. It's just a little brick house kind of tucked back off the road, which is great. It depends on what you have and how bad you want to protect it and what your budget is. Remember, at the end of the day, your life's worth a lot. I mean, if you're concerned about somebody breaking in your house and you don't have a way to defend yourself, or you're not into guns, I mean, that could be a thing. You don't want to spend a bunch of money on super sweet guns to defend yourself, or you just don't want to get the proper training and learn how to use it. I get that. I mean, I don't, but that's up to you. But spend all your money in ways of keeping people out, so you don't have to use a gun. And that's still, even us gun guys, that's what we need to be doing. I hear a lot of internet commandos all the time talking about, man, I leave my doors unlocked. I hope somebody breaks in here so I can kill them. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. That's not a good plan. You're going to end up in jail. They're going to go find your posts on Facebook where you're talking about wanting to kill people, and you're going to stay in jail. So don't do dumb shit like that. The idea here is defense, not offense. And luring people in for a trap so you can kill them is psychopathic killer shit. So that's illegal. Don't do that. The idea here, again, keeping people out. I'm going to say that a lot in this video. Keeping people out of the house, not what to do once they're in the house. And we'll get into that too. But, so here's the deal. A lot of doors, standard old doors from places aren't super great. So I feel like this is super boring. I'm going to pick up guns and show them to you while we talk about this. A lot of places don't have great doors to keep people out. So this is a really easy trick. If you look at if you go online, look at reinforcing my front door, you're gonna find some quick tips and tricks. If you go to the hardware store and get some like 4-inch bolts and replace the part where your door locks in, replace those shitty little screws they come with 4-inch screws. It's way harder to kick a door in. Get good doors. It's not a lot of money. It's way less money than all this shit, I'll tell you that. Get good doors. That way it's harder for people to get in. If you're not here, who gives a shit if somebody gets in? I mean, yeah, losing your stuff sucks. Have good insurance, and have a way to get it back. Everything can be replaced except your life or the lives of your loved ones. So if somebody gets in the house and steals all your shit, yeah, that's a shitty day. Don't go out Punisher style looking for a vengeance and try to kill some guy over your fucking flat screen. That's stupid. Don't think you're going to do that either. And don't tell people you would do that. I hear people talk about, getting their car stolen. Well, some guy stole my car out of my driveway and I went out the front door and I started shooting at him. Yeah, you're an idiot. You should have car insurance unless you're a criminal, and you should have a way to get your car back. Unless your children are in the car, even then you better be really good at shooting your gun. But unless you have children in the car, then you have absolutely no reason to pursue said suspect. I don't care what kind of valuables are in the car, you just don't. So, again, sorry, I got off on a tangent there. You don't kill over property, guys. It's not, I don't want to get into religion and shit, but there's a 10 Commandments and it's a thing. And you don't kill people over property. It's just not how this works. Don't be that guy. So keeping people out. Reinforce your doors. Reinforce your windows. Have a plan in place. Get external lighting. Motion activated external lighting. Get that stuff. It's not a lot of money. Take a weekend. Spend a couple $100 and set some stuff up. It could potentially, be the difference between someone breaking into your house and someone getting in someone else's house. So do that. Alarm systems. So there are a ton of alarm systems on the market. There's a bunch of gimmicky stuff. There's pay by the month. There's this. There's that. It's really up to you. Do your own research and figure out what you like. I've been using the iSmart alarm system. Hell, I don't know. Probably about 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. It's so simple. It's so easy to use. It's not expensive. There's a bunch of different levels to it. There's a bunch of sales all the time. I have the iCamera Keep, Pro, I don't know, maybe, whatever. It's a pan-tilt zoom camera up in the kitchen. My house is relatively small, so I can see both entrances to my house, both of the main entrances, and have an eye on what's going on anytime I want. I can open the app, pull it up, I can see what's going on. When the alarm does go off, I get phone calls to whatever numbers I have set. So I have all the important people, their phone numbers set on there, and even people that don't live here, so they can say, hey, what's going on? Your alarm went off. Is everything okay? Blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. And if the alarm goes off, I can open the alarm. I can open the app, and look at the camera and see, oh shit, there's some bad guys in my house ransacking the place trying to steal my TV. And then what do? Yeah, I get out my trunk gun, I drive home super fast to try to kill them, right? No, that's not what you do. You're an idiot. You call the cops, okay? So this alarm system isn't set up to call the cops automatically. A lot of them are, and that's fine, but typically that's a service that's paid for. So this system calls me, because typically when the alarm goes off, it's my brother who wants to borrow my rangefinder forever and never give it back, or, you know, somebody who wants to, one of my trustees will want to use a suppressor for the day, or, you know, want to borrow something else. I forgot. I'm going to add this to your home defense plan too. This is in my home defense plan as well. So, yeah, that's the alarm calls me, and then I can, you know, do whatever I need to do. Now, the other question is, what if I'm home and the alarm goes off? Yeah, it's got a little siren. It'll wake me up. The difference is it's got a siren. It will call me. It'll call all the numbers I have listed. It will text me. It will leave me a voicemail. It'll send me an email. So every single alert function on my iPhone is going to go off. There's no way to miss this. So it's a really neat system. I like it. Super user friendly, easy for everybody to understand. It's completely wireless, so no drilling. You know, none of that. It runs on sticky tape and CR2032 batteries, which all you super operators have to light up your optics. So you got plenty of those. And it's relatively cheap. Like I said, you can get a camera, pan tilt camera, and the whole system for $300. So I recommend you do that. It's super easy to install. The only downside to this system, in my opinion, is that it runs off your internet. If you don't have reliable internet, then you don't have a reliable alarm. How big a deal is that? I don't know. This thing will notify you when it's offline, though. So when the internet goes down, it'll say, hey, your iSmart alarm's offline. So you know about it, which is great. You know, it's nice to know. That's the only downside to this thing, is that it runs on the internet. If you have really reliable internet, it's always on, then you don't have to worry about it. But, you know, that's kind of the only con. There's a lot more to external home defense. I mean, when people knock at your door and you don't know who they are, don't fucking answer it. It's not rocket science. They didn't show up to give you a suitcase full of money, okay? That's never happened. Well, fuck, I don't know, it might have happened. It ain't happened here. I'll tell you that right now. So if somebody knocks on your door and you don't know who they are, they're not the UPS man or the FedEx man, they don't have a package for you that you're expecting, be wary of them too, I guess. But make sure you know what's going on. If you're not expecting somebody and they knock on your door, talk through the door. Yell through the door. Don't answer the door. There's some really cool doorbells too out there that have like the Ring system that have a camera built in. When somebody hits the doorbell, it comes up on your phone. You can see who it is. You can talk to them. That's great. If you're concerned about that, if you get a bunch of random people coming to your door. I like that. I don't typically have that issue. Like I said, I don't have a lot of people. I did have, hell, it was like 2 years ago. I had some people come to the door, and it was a lady, and there was a van outside, and I was looking through the window, and I'm like, yeah, what do you want? And she's like, well, do you need your carpets cleaned? I'm like, no, I don't need my carpets cleaned, thanks. And there's no markings on the van. There's no, you know, she didn't have a shirt on that said, you know, fancy carpet cleaners. She didn't have anything, and she had people in the van. I didn't see any cleaning equipment. The door was open. There's no cleaning equipment in the van. It was super sketch. So I told her, fuck off. I was like, we're done here. Get out of here. Have a nice day. And I quit talking to her, and she never came back. There are bad people out there. A lot of people live in this world where they think, oh yeah, you know, nobody would ever knock on my door and try to steal my shit. You're wrong. It happens all the time. Look it up. It's a real thing. And not only are we talking about stolen stuff. Earlier I talked about stolen stuff's not important, right? You can get it back. You'll make more money. It's not the end of the world. But some people want to break in and, like, you know, rape or kill you. Those people exist. It happens all the time. And you don't need that to happen to you because you're so dumb you open the door, okay? So don't be that person. I will tell you that from the home defense experience for me, I'm in a way less difficult, complicated situation than most of you are out there. I would assume that most of the people watching this video have they have children. You know, they have children in other rooms. They have a rather larger house than me. It's much more complicated for those people. So here in my setup, You guys ready for this? I bet you never expected it. I live at home with my parents. Okay, my parents are about to retire. I'm living here with them. I like it. I'm single. I do it by choice. And I really enjoy my parents, and they really enjoy me having around the house. We take care of the property together, and we're a team. So that being said, there's only 3 people in the house I have to worry about. Okay. And I know my house layout. My room's on the opposite end of the house. Their room's on the opposite end from me. In between our 2 rooms is the living room, and it's built up with concrete. So it's got cinder blocks in between. I'm not concerned about, I don't want to talk about over-penetration in this video. I'm not concerned about over-penetrating into the other room and killing them. I know where my angles are. And I know how to use my angles to get this thing done right. That being said, oh, here's something else. I'll talk about that in a minute. So that being said, I know it's not as easy as that for a lot of you. You have kids on the other end of the house you may have to get to, and that's where your skills are way more important than my skills. For me, and I guess I'll lay out my home defense plan right out for you guys. My home defense plan is to lock the door of my room if it isn't locked already, and then call the police. That's it. Yeah, I got a gun ready. I definitely have a gun ready. Obviously. That being said, if somebody wants to come in my room to deal me harm or danger, I'm going to have to administer lethal force. While I do that, I prefer to be on the phone with 911. Some dude's trying to kick my door in. I'm legally armed. I believe he's here to harm me. I just want you to know the situation. That way, all that is recorded. The legal battle is like its own other thing, guys. It's a big shit show. The idea is to avoid that altogether. So if when the cops get here, the 911 operator could say, "Man, I was on the phone the whole time. He talked me through what was going on. This is about as good as a good shoot looks." I think we're clean and clear here. That's great. That's what we want. It may not go down like that. You may end up in jail, at least for a couple days. You may lose your Super Gucci operator blaster like I have. I don't know. I'm not super keen on what happens after a good shoot, but I need to know what it takes to have a good shoot. So that's the plan. Now, my parents know that too. If the alarm goes off, I've instructed them to lock their door all the time. The only reason I keep my door open is because I got this awesome dog who sometimes likes to come in and lay in bed with me, and sleeping with him some days is way more important than my safety. So sometimes I leave the door open. If you have the opportunity to lock your bedroom door at night, do that. If nobody needs to come in or out of your bedroom while you sleep, lock the door. It's pretty simple. It's another barrier for somebody to get into. So there's no reason not to have it. If you have no reason to keep it unlocked, lock it. For those of you with children, the alarm goes off. If you're running my style alarm, the alarm goes off, the phone rings, says, "Hey, your alarm goes off." You pull up the camera, there's bad guys in the house, right? You got to do something. You can't afford to let those bad guys get to your kids' rooms and do whatever they're gonna do, whether it's just steal shit or whether it's to harm them. You don't have that luxury. You need to administer lethal force as soon as possible. Obviously, that's up to you. And there's a lot of good videos on this. This is kind of the part of the world that's covered in home defense typically. Get your gun and get out there and shoot some bad guys and protect your family, And the firearms industry has kind of marketed this to everyone for a long time in order to sell products, and hey, it's working, obviously. But this is kind of what they catch on in the marketing. But home defense is important. So that being said, have a plan. I can't tell you how good a plan to have because I don't have kids and I haven't had to think about it that much. But make sure your kids know what the hell's going on. Make sure your kids know that you're armed and that if bad guys break in this house and try to do them harm, that you're going to do them harm first. Make sure that they know that. Make sure that they know if they hear loud noises or whatever, if they hear the alarm going off, to stay in their bedroom, lock the door, barricade the door, hide in a corner. Depends on how old they are, obviously. That's up to you. Do dry runs in your house. Get your setup properly ready to go. when nobody's home or you're in a safe environment, make sure the gun's empty, and do dry runs in your house and make sure you understand the layout, you know the corners, you know how to implement the use of your light. Have a damn light on your gun. Know how to use it, know how to activate it, know how to use momentary on. Know where to point your muzzle. Think three-dimensionally. Know where your kids are on the other side of the wall. Choose your defense ammo wisely. And make sure it goes down properly. Involve your kids in these dry runs. Once a month, say, all right, guys, we're gonna plan here on what to do. If this happens, if somebody comes that we don't want in the house, this is what we're gonna do. Give them safe words. Give them instructions. You come up with it. Like I said, I don't have kids. I don't have to worry about it, man. But you do. And your kids are the most important thing in your life. This stuff's the most important stuff in my life right here. Make sure you get that right. I don't know how much more I need to talk about that. You guys can look up better ways to do that and get some training. There's good home defense training classes out there done by reputable instructors that will go really into depth on this. And they probably have kids. Most people have kids, and they understand how to do that way better than I do. For me, like I said, again, my plan is to lock the damn door in the house, lock the damn door in my room, and hunker down behind the bed with my rifle on target, and hoping nobody comes in the door. That is my plan. Make sure your affairs are in order. For insurance, for your stuff, if it's that important to you, have good insurance. Make sure it's covered. And you don't have to worry about the stuff. Also, take a tip from John over at Active Self-Protection. Have your spiritual fitness right, guys. You never know what's going to happen. You can have all of this shit and end up having a bad guy come into your house and kill you. Sorry to say, but it's a thing. Make sure you got your affairs in order. Make sure you talk to those people. If you want to hear the actual real spiel from the guy that says it, go watch John at Active Self-Protection. He's got a bunch of good stuff like this on his channel that you can watch. So the reason you're all here, let's talk about the gear, right? So obviously, let me clear up some rumors that I started. The High Point isn't my home defense gun. I recommend choosing a higher capacity, more reliable firearm to use for home defense. The crossbow is not a home defense gun. It's hunting season, so this was setting out, so I thought I'd fuck with you guys. Also, and we'll talk about the shotgun thing too. So I got the Mossberg Shockwave here. I literally only own it because I thought it was cool. And that's it. So I have it because it's cool. I don't really know what to do with it, so it kind of stays out sometimes. But this is not a home defense gun. It can be, I guess, if this is what you have. We'll talk about shotguns and stopping power and that kind of stuff here. So shotguns are known for one-stop shot, man. They put down a ton of lead and one pull the trigger, and that's great. If the event happens where you have to administer lethal force, a shotgun is a great tool to do that with, okay? That being said, this one in its particular configuration, I typically keep it loaded with 4 buckshot, and it's extremely hard to hold on to. There's some guys on YouTube like hit cock with his gorilla hands who shoot this thing like it's a fucking 1911 or whatever, but I can't. It's hard to hold on to with 4 buck. Also, note, I tried to put the Magpul forend on it in order to attach a lighting system, and it does not fit. These shorter versions of the Mossberg have different length bars or whatever. The Magpul forend does not fit without extreme modification. I did find a thread where some dude modified it, made it fit. Yeah, I don't care that much. I'm not doing that. So there's also like a GG and G mount, I think, that goes up here on the front. You can offset mount a light. Let's talk about lights on home defense guns. You need one, okay? A light can potentially stop a threat in any situation. If you have enough lumens to put in a guy's face, it's kind of like turning on the security lights outside. It says, man, somebody's on to me. I don't know who it is because I can't freaking see them. I can't even open my eyes, but all I know is I should probably go the other way because I got no defense, okay? So, get a light. Make sure you have lights, whether it's handheld light, whether it's on your gun. Get as many lumens as you freaking can. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole of this too many lumens in the house thing. Don't point your fucking lights at mirrors. It's your house. Know where your mirrors are. Why do you have mirrors on the walls anyway? First of all, I don't care if your walls are white. Use baseboard techniques. Use roof lighting. I don't know if that's the right word for that. Point the fucking light up and light the room if necessary. Also, the other thing I never hear anybody talk about when we talk about home defense and lights on guns is turn on the fucking lights in your house. Unless your power's out, unless you're so high profile that the criminals cut the power to your house before invading it, A, you should probably just call in an airstrike because you're fucked. B, turn on the lights. Like, if you need lights in the house, this reminds me, I was watching a Mr. Guns and Gear video yesterday, who's fucking awesome, by the way. If you're not subscribed to that guy, go check him out. He's the freaking man. He's got a bunch of incredible reviews and way more cooler shit than I do, and he's super solid. But I was watching doing a review of Scout Light, Surefire Scout Light, and he said, I like the redundancy on the switch. It's got the momentary on in case, it's home defense and I gotta call the police and let them know what just happened. And my thought the whole time is, man, just turn the light switch on, maybe, you can see the bad guy. But, that being said, redundancy is awesome. Redundancy in ammunition is awesome. Redundancy in lights is awesome. And set yourself up for success. So have as much stuff as you can. Where was I going with that? Anyway, so lights on guns. Make sure you have them. Have as many lumens as you can. Know how to use them properly, okay? There's good videos out there. Aaron Cowan has awesome videos on light use and placement. Sage Dynamics, go watch him too. He'll tell you why you need a light on your gun, okay? Get a light on your gun, especially. Get a light on every gun. There's not really a good reason to not put a light on a gun. If they don't make a holster for it with the light, then your gun sucks. Get a different gun. Okay, this is something not a lot of people talk about too when it comes to home defense. Now you'll notice kind of a theme with my guns. I like suppressors. Suppressors make guns quieter. In a home, it keeps you from losing your hearing. That being said, I still have redundancy options with these. The main reason I have these, I keep these by my bed up on the headboard, so if something goes down, I can pop them on, okay? Even suppressed, and I don't know how many of you have experience shooting firearms in close quarters, but they're loud. Most of us, if you're smart, always shoot your firearms with ear protection on. That being said, most of you don't get the opportunity to hear what they sound like without, especially when you start talking about short-barreled AR-style rifles. They're loud as hell. They will ruin you. They'll wreck your hearing. Of course, everybody goes, well, who gives a shit about my hearing? I gotta kill a bad guy. Yeah, that's great, but at the end of the day, it'd be great to, if you had to call 911, or if you had to talk to your children, or, if you needed to, hear what's going on, that'd be kind of important too. So, have ear protection, have suppressors, go through the paperwork, get them, it's worth it. Don't let the ATF and the government keep you from getting shit that you as an American deserve to have that shouldn't be restricted. Sorry, I don't want to go off on that tangent. But go through the process, get the paperwork. Silencer Co. is an excellent option for information on how to do it and how to do it well. Call those guys, they'll walk you through the whole process. Silencer Shop is another great place to go do that to make it easy on you. Go do it. Spend the money and get one. It'll change everything. Not to mention, it keeps you from being less of an asshole when you're at the range or if you're at classes. People that run suppressors are nice people. That's how this works. So we don't want to hurt your ears and we don't want to hurt our ears either. So we run suppressors. The only reason this gun doesn't have the salvo on it is because it's not threaded. So whatever, it'd be really stupid. It'd be cool. Whatever. One day maybe you'll see that. So hearing protection. The other main advantage to these is they're amplified. They have microphones, okay? So they have microphones on them, so I can turn them on and I can get, I can hear more, 9 times amplification or something they call it. So I can hear what's going on. If there's 5 bad guys in my house whispering, I can go, man, there's 5 different voices out there. That's a lot of people. I can report that to the police, or I know exactly what's going on, or I can hear what they're doing, I can hear what they're saying. If they come in and say, yeah, let's get this guy's TV, cool. If they come in and say, hey, I'm going to find this dude's dog and I'm going to kill it and I'm going to kill him, that's good info to know. That could determine how I risk assessment, threat response. That's some James Younger shit, I think. I don't know. But things like that are important. Hearing is great. Also, don't forget, I have the camera. It's got a microphone on it. It'll send, stuff through my phone. Redundancy is great. Yeah, keep your guns quiet. Let's talk about choice. So actually, I just now realized we got the 3 main choices for home defense right here on the table, right? You'll hear it all the time. Shotgun, AR, handgun. Which one is it? There's so much to this. What I want to say is John Lovell over at Warrior Poet Society, he's got his own YouTube channel. He's got a video on this where he goes through with numbers and breaks down the best guns for home defense based on ammo capacity, ease of use, over penetration, and that kind of thing. And at the end of the day, the AR-15 wins based on its magazine capacity, ease of use, and ease of handling, basically, and its stopping power. So I think the AR-15 is it. This is my primary home defense gun. Oh, that shakes the camera. Sorry. This is my primary home defense gun. This is. And we might as well talk about it, I guess. We'll make sure everybody knows what to get. If you want to copy me, that's fine. I'm about that. So here it is. Let me clear it, obviously. Okay, cleared. So this is a home build. Gasp. Yes, I trust my life to a home built AR-15. The reason why is because I shoot it a lot and I know that it works. So this is a pistol, obviously, chambered in 300 AAC Blackout. There you go. Well, you can see it. So also, these are hand-loaded ammunition. That's Barnes 110 grain TAC. What do they call those damn bullets? I don't know, TAC LE bullets, I think. They're designed specifically for 300 Blackout. They're about 2,200 feet per second. They lay down the hurt, man. They do really, really well. The reason I know this is because I've shot a bunch of deer with this ammo, and the deer typically die very quickly. So deer have organs similar to humans. If I need, you can figure it out. I got 60 rounds in here. Yeah, hopefully I don't need 60 rounds. You're not lying about that. But if I do, I got them. The only real reason I have this magazine is because I did a little shooting competition with the SRT group and a bunch of buddies a while back. And the guy that won the damn thing was running a D60 because he never had to reload his gun through each stage. And I was like, man, that's a huge advantage. I want that advantage too. So I got one. And I figured why not implement it in home defense use. So there you go. We'll start from the front to the back. This gun's running a silencer Kosaker with the ASR adaptation on it. I just switched from the Mad Mount to the ASR mount. I like it better so far. I don't have a ton of experience with it yet, but it just makes way more sense to me than the Mad Mount. Daniel Defense 10.3 inch cold hammer forged barrel. This barrel has been absolutely excellent. I actually shot this barrel for a long time on a different build on my SBR, which you guys may or may not have seen. I'm not sure. Let me go get it, actually. So this barrel used to be in this gun, and this was my home defense gun for a long time, set up like that. But I liked shooting this gun a lot, so I switched it over to a 5.56 ballistic advantage barrel, and this is typically my vehicle gun, and we can talk about that one day maybe. But yeah, so this used to be on the 300 Blackout barrel, and this gun used to be in this gun. So anyway, back to this gun. Daniel Defense 300 Blackout barrel, 10.3 inch. It's got an SLR rifle, works adjustable gas block. Typically, I don't recommend adjustable gas blocks in combat or home defense or serious use guns. And the reason's kind of obvious. The more things you have to tune and change, the more screws you have, the more things can go bad or come loose. So that being said, I've tested this gas block thoroughly. I have faith in it very, very much. So I like the SLR rifle works. I think it's the SLR 7, maybe. The other great thing about that is this gun's really a fun gun too. If I want to take it out and go deer hunting with it, or if I want to play around with subsonics, I can do that, adjust the gas just right so it doesn't tear me up. Handguard is the Daniel Defense V7 handguard. This is a 9-inch, I believe. I think this is a 9, this is a 10. The reason I went with this handguard is because it was cheap for me. Not only that, but it's really nicely set up. I like the way that it mounts. I like the M-lock features. It's super slim, lightweight. It is not the most heavy-duty handguard on the market. Geisley makes a really, really nice handguards. I recommend those too, but they're a fortune. I got a discount on these, so that's why I chose them. I like the handguard setup. Quick thing on handguards, get them out as far as you can, guys. There's no reason to have, it's super cool if you have a 9-inch quad rail or a 7-inch quad rail on your Mark 18 clone. I think that's fucking awesome. But other than that, there's no reason to have a short handguard. So take your handguard out as far as it'll go. Light, again, lights on everything. Streamlight TLR H1. If you don't want to spend $400 on a Scout mount setup for everything, Scout Light, which is, I don't either. Get these. These are like $150, $130 on Amazon maybe. I've seen specials where they're, $100. They're 800 lumens. They're stupid bright. They've been excellently reliable for me. I like them. Also note that you can 10 tap the strobe out of these. I don't like strobe. I think strobe lights are stupid. That's my opinion. You can look up others. But yeah, I don't like strobe, so I don't like to use it. I like momentary on. Backup sights, I had them laying around, some Troy Micros, so I threw them on there. Probably never need them because of my optic. So this is a Trijicon RMR RM06. This is the 3 1/4 dot. I actually took this off my handgun when I picked up this, what is this, RM07 that I put on the Glock. So this is a 6 MOA dot on the Glock, the 3 1/4 dot on the home defense gun. So I like the 3 1/4 dot better. It gives me a little precision accuracy if I'm out plinking around or whatever. It's plenty big for home defense. Don't everybody make fun of me at once. This is for my brass catcher. Sometimes when I play around with this gun, I reload. I like my brass. 300 Blackout's expensive, so I can just toss the deal on and catch my brass. Back to the RMR. Sorry. So the RMR is the best freaking red dot like ever. If you've done any research, you've heard about it. So get an RMR. Cabela's had these on their pre-Black Friday special for $350 with the mount. Super good deal. Don't get too excited because you probably won't get it now. But it's a really good deal. The mount's made by UTG. Gasp, I know UTG makes garbage stuff. This seems to be fine. It's a chunk of aluminum that's milled out. I'm not that concerned. I got backup sights, and this gun's primary use is, 0 to 7 yards. So I feel like with my whole 60 rounds here, I'll get rounds on target. Obviously, you want to stack the odds in your favor, but I'm not really concerned about this mount. Aero Precision upper-lower receiver. This gun has a Rainy Arms Ultra Match bolt carrier group. Get a good bolt carrier group. Get a good barrel. Buy shit everything else if you want, but get those two things right, because that's what makes your gun work, and your gas system. Don't screw that up either. Get those things good. CMC trigger, Magpul K2 grip, whatever. It's the first one I have. It's fine. Whatever. It works. Base 5 buffer tube and the SB Tactical brace. I've tried. This is a conversation I hear a lot of people ask questions about. What brace do I get? This one. This is the brace that you get. The SB Tactical collapsible brace is pretty sweet. It's like $400 though, and you don't get a good cheek weld. I think it's more tactical than functional. If you want to run it, if you're in and out of vehicles all day or something, yeah, get that. That's good. Seems to be fine. But I like this. I like that the Phase 5 tube sets it back a little bit for me in the event that I, accidentally shoulder it or something. It gives me a nice length of pull. The big deal about this brace though is the way it sets on the end. See how it's a little thicker, wider than like your blade brace. The blade brace, I've actually had, I've had a couple blade braces, and they suck. Yeah, they're $40, but if you put a blade brace on a short barreled AR, it's gonna, and you go shoot all day, I guess, it's gonna hurt you. No, I'm not a pussy. But I had this gun, this barrel, when it was in that, I don't know, I move shit around all the time. But 11.5-inch 5.56 gun with the blade brace and a carbine buffer and a pinned gas block. And I mean, after like 200 rounds, my shoulder hurt, man. So I had to put in a new tampon and call the emergency room. But after that, I was like, dude, I should just get an SB tactical brace, and then put a heavy buffer in it. So those of you guys that have built AR pistols and you're struggling with recoil and you don't want to tell anybody, asking for a friend, get a blade or get a SB tactical brace and put a heavy buffer in the gun, and then it will feel a lot better to you. That's pretty much the gun. This one does have a JP silent capture recoil system, which is great for playing around with subsonic stuff, so I like that. That's pretty much the home defense gun, guys. Faro Concepts Slingster. I've had a lot of slings. The Magpul ones are fine. Magpul does everything like really, really good, and their slings are really good, but I think Faro Concepts does the sling better than anybody. The Faro Concepts and the Blue Force Gear slings are top notch, so I recommend getting those. This one I had to wait a while to get though. It was like, I don't know how much it was. It was like $70 maybe. But it shipped from Canada, so it took forever to get it. So that's the rifle option for home defense. Let's talk about the pistol option for home defense too. So this is, when I get home, this is my carry gun, okay? So when I get home, this thing goes right on my nightstand anyway. So again, let's talk about redundancy, right? So redundancy is great. This gun, and now that I got the hybrid here, when I get home, gun comes out of my holster, put the hybrid on it, go to bed. So now I got two suppressed guns at the ready. Well, yeah, at the ready if I need them for whatever reason, and neither one's gonna blow my ears out. I like that idea, so why not? It's gonna be on the nightstand anyway. This gun I've talked about in a lot of my other videos. If you haven't watched the best EDC in the world videos, I go into this gun in depth. So if you have questions on this gun, it's there. RMR, silencer co barrel, hybrid, 147 grain gold dots. It's a Glock at 19. It shoots all the time, which is great. Yeah, so those are my go-tos for home defense. If you want to use a shotgun, use a shotgun, but have a light on it. Make sure you know how to use it. If there are other people in the house, if you have a wife, if you have children who are old enough to properly use shotguns, and you've done your due diligence and taught them how to use guns, train them. But what I'm getting at is shotguns can be harder to operate and use. Short stroking a shotgun is much easier than getting an AR to stop run. If you have a reliable AR, getting it through 30 or 60 rounds shouldn't be a problem. If you show your significant other how to chamber a round and pull the trigger, then you shouldn't have any issues, right? You can stage the gun however you want. If you want to stage it cruiser ready, if you want to stage it with the bolt back, whatever works, you can. Oh, that reminds me. Hornady. I talk to a bunch of people about home defense all the time. They're like, man, I have kids, I can't keep my gun out. Let's talk about keeping your guns, like ready and available. If they're not ready, loaded, and available, then they're useless, right? I mean, think about that. Bad guy kicks in your front door while you're on the couch having, Monday Night Football or whatever the fuck it is, and he wants to kill you all, you're gonna die, right? Take a second, think about it. Okay, did you think about it? What's your plan, right? Gonna go downstairs, open your safe, grab a magazine, come back upstairs, dispatch the threat? No, you're not. It's not gonna happen. You're gonna come back upstairs, maybe get in a gunfight after all your family's dead, I guess. I don't know. Sorry to be grim, but life's hard sometimes. So, yeah, let's think about that. Have guns accessible where you need them. I understand that's difficult for for people who have children around the house and they're concerned. Step number one is have the talk with the kids. First of all, take the curiosity out of it. Show them firearms while they are with you. You know, and again, I'm not the guy to speak to this. I don't have children to deal with, but there are good resources out there. There are good classes. There are good trainers who can help you through this. But if they're not ready, you might as well not have them. So Hornady recently released the Rapid AR Wall Safe, which is friggin' awesome. It's locked in the trunk of my car right now, or I'd show it to you, but I'll roll in, you know, picture of it or something like that. But at the end of the day, what it is it's a safe that mounts on your wall that holds your AR-15 as it sits with a magazine in it, with optics on it, with a light on it, with a sling on it, and sits on the wall. And you can use RFID. You can use your passcode. You can there's a bunch of different RFID devices, or you can use a key to open it. Freaking awesome. Hang it on your wall. Kids can't get in it. They know where it's at, but you can get to it, okay? That doesn't help the, you know, when the guy kicks in the front door thing, right? Me, I have a couch gun that I keep in the couch. It kind of rotates. Actually, I think I'll grab it and see how many people want to make fun of me. So here it is. Here's the old couch gun. It's a Walther P22 with some stingers in it. It stays in the little center console, a little console right next to me in the couch. If somebody kicks in the door, that gun comes out. It's got one chambered. I can put rounds at the bad guy and at least fight back and get me around the corner to the rest of the guns. I should probably, you know, think a little bit harder about that maybe. I got a Glock 17 that might be a better option, but the holster kind of that holds it in the deal fits this gun pretty well. So I don't know. It's always been in there. I haven't had to use it, which is great. So it works. That's kind of my little couch gun. This thing's going to be loud as hell. It's going to give me some ear ringing. I know that. But it's not going to be like shooting a 10-inch 5.56 in the hallway. So whatever. Yeah, guys, man, this video has gone really, really long, and I know most of my videos do, and I'm sorry about that, but I want to give you as much information as possible on these videos. So, you've got some ideas. Do what you will. I've given you enough information to know that you need to go get more information, and that's important. Get some training. Know how your stuff works. Have a plan. Have external lights. Have a security system. Reinforce your doors. Make sure your windows are locked. Don't answer the door for strange people. I mean, you get the idea, guys. I don't know how much more I can say to keep you safer. If you have questions, of course, let me know. If I don't know the answers, I'll forward you to someone who does. Yeah, I think that's it. I need to shut it down, I guess. I don't care if you like, comment, or subscribe. I don't do these videos to try to make money or be a YouTube star. I do these videos to try to help you guys get past some of the stuff I struggled with when, coming into these subjects. So, thank you for everything. If, like I said, if you need any help, shoot me a message, shoot me a comment, or whatever. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Be safe.